Kemper. How dare you? Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another episode of Riffs and Responses. This is where I read and respond to your guys' comments. And I also cover some newsworthy topics related to new gear or updates to gear or whatever happens in gear world. And I offer my perspective on those things as well. Well, let's kick things off with the whole Kemper thing. I saw a lot of people bitching about Kemper releasing a paid update or paid upgrade to the Kemper Player. Now, I covered this topic a while back when it was first announced that it was a possibility that this was going to happen. But I'm going to share my thoughts on it once again, and I'm going to give you some updated thoughts on it as well. Now, as you probably know, because you've seen a bunch of other channels talk about it, Kemper has released a two-tier update or upgrade to the Kemper Player. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details regarding what those tiers are and what they offer, but in general, you get more stuff. You know, you can get more effects in your chain, you can get morph, you can get more effects as well. So not only can you get more stomps in your chain, but you can get more effects to choose from as well. And I think that's really cool. I think it's good that they're doing that. Now, the thing is people are complaining because they're like, well, why do we got to pay for this? And I think it's bullshit that we got to pay for this. And they don't do that to the, the Kemper stage or the Kemper toaster or rack unit. Why do we got to do it on this? Well, here's the thing. I mean, the reason why Kemper released the Kemper Player is because they lowered the barrier of entry to their universe, for people who want to try the Kemper out, but they don't want to spend $1,700 on one. They want to, they're able to get into it a lot cheaper now. And a lot of these people aren't going to make their own profiles. They're going to buy their profiles from guys like me and other people that sell their profiles online. And I totally get that. So they don't care that it doesn't profile. They just want to use the profiles that are available and use the effects and enjoy the small size that it is, and they can enjoy just taking that with them very easily anywhere they go. And they knew what they were getting when they bought it. They knew what it had and what it didn't have, and they knew what the price was that was associated with all that. And for a lot of people, that was plenty. For a lot of them, they were like, you know what, with kick-ass profiles and the effects that it has and the size and all that, this thing is perfect for me. I'm going to buy it. And for them guys, that thing is perfect. Now, for other people who bought it hoping that they would get free updates in the future, I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, Christoph Kemper clearly stated, I think it was on the Kemper page or somewhere, that the updates would be, there would be a charge for them down the road. So there's two schools of thought here. There's people who think that the updates should be free, and there's other people who don't care, because either they're happy with what the player has and they don't want to pay for the updates and they don't need them, or they understand how business works. So here's my 2 cents for what it's worth. I see both sides. I really do. Now, if you're going to spend like $1,700 on a unit, the updates, for the most part, for at least for a couple years or 4 or 5, whatever, how many years, should be kind of included in that price, because there's a pretty good margin in it, I'm sure, and it covers all of that. And I'm sure that when these people sell these units, no matter if it's Kemper or Quad Cortex or whoever, they have that stuff in mind, So I totally understand that. Now, that being said, after a while, I'm sure the updates are starting to get more and more costly to these companies, and they're probably like, all right, I think we've given away enough here. Maybe we should start figuring something else out regarding updates, or come up with a new unit where we can kind of make our money back and stuff. Maybe we can make it back that way or whatever. But after a while, the gravy train definitely runs out of gravy, and you have to understand that. I mean, look, nothing's free. Nothing is. This video is free to you. It doesn't cost you anything to watch it for the most part, but for me, it's not. I paid for the cameras, I paid for the studio, I paid for the software I'm going to edit it with, I paid for the lights, I paid for the mics, everything, so it costs me money to make this video. It really does. But again, it's free to you, but it costs me something. So it's like, how many times can a company give away something before they start going, all right, we're kind of losing money at this point? So there's that. And here's the other thing. The Kemper Player is around 700, if I remember. Don't quote me on that. I think it's around 700, 698 or something like that. and it's very cheap, compared to the other unit. So it's about half the price, and I think that's a really good deal for that unit, and it does offer a lot for the price. Now, they could have come up with another unit that had more. Let's say it had the stuff that's in those updates, right? Well, here's the Kemper Player Plus or the Kemper Player Extreme or whatever you want to call it, and it's got all the stuff that's in the updates. But now that's, let's say it's $1,100. Or they can just keep the Kemper Player as it is, and for those who like it as it is, they can just not spend any more money on it, enjoy it as it is. But for those who got in for the low barrier of entry and the lower price, around $700, they can pay for those updates if they want instead of buying the other unit. So I think that's actually pretty smart on Kemper's part. And I think that that's good forward thinking on their part as well. I think they're thinking about their customers as well, like people who bought it and who want those updates. They don't have to buy another unit now. All they have to do is just pay for the update, get it, and they're done. They're happy with the unit. They're happy with the size and the functionality of it. Why not have some more features? So I think if you look at it that way, it's actually a positive thing. So for those of you who want to pay the price for the update, well, there you go. For those of you who don't, well, it doesn't matter. You didn't need it anyways, because again, you bought it without those things and you were happy with it. And like I said, everything costs money. These people that are making these updates, they get paid a weekly salary to be in there doing all the programming and the coding and all the stuff associated with that. So I totally understand Kemper's point on that. So, like I said, if you don't want the update, don't buy it. If you do, then buy it. And I'm sure if you want it and you buy it, then it was worth it for you. So I don't know why everybody's bitching so much. I really don't. Like I said, I do see both sides. But again, if you bought it knowing what it had and what it didn't have, and you were happy with the price, then there you go, man. And by the time you paid it off and we're kind of over that price, that you paid for it and everything, and the update comes out, maybe you can afford the update. So whatever, man. I think it's great. I really do. I don't see a problem with it. I know some people are going to be in the comment section saying I'm shilling for Kemper or whatever. I'm not shilling for Kemper. I'm a business owner. I understand how business works. Okay, I'm not some guy just playing chords in my mom's basement. So I do understand how the world works. Okay, I've owned a business for 24 years, and I know that there's no such thing as a free lunch. Somebody had to pay for that. Even if it's free to you, it doesn't mean it's actually free. Now, does that mean I'm okay with all digital platforms going that route? It depends on what the price is when you buy it. So for people who want to buy a piece of hardware with a certain amount of features in it at a certain price, well, they're happy with that, and for people who want to buy that same piece of hardware but have more features at a little higher price, well, I'm sure they'll be happy with that as well, and so on and so forth. That's kind of the way it goes. You have like a tiered system on when you buy stuff. You guys have seen it. You go on Amazon and you could buy packages. You can buy an item, but you can also buy an item that comes with, like a tier 2 package and a tier 3 and a tier 4. It's an item plus a few other, supplemental items that come with it. And it's a different price. But if you don't want all that stuff, just buy package number 1 and be happy with that, So I think there's nothing wrong with that. And depending on how companies price things in the future, I don't see a big problem with it. I really don't. And like I said in my previous video that I made months ago, there's an incentive for companies to keep making updates because they're getting paid for it and they get to sell something at the end of that period where they're working on the update, as opposed to, well, here's another free update that we worked our asses off on, Now, again, this all depends on how much they're selling the product for in the beginning. If they're selling it for top price, well then, yeah, maybe there should be a certain amount of updates that are included with it. But otherwise, if they're going to give you a discounted price, like a lower barrier of entry to get into their universe, I don't see a problem with it for the most part. I really don't. A lot of companies are going that way now with software. With my editing software, I'm paying a monthly fee to use the software, and they're constantly updating it for me. So it is what it is. I think that's the way of the future. Like I said, I just hope they keep those things in mind when they're selling the initial product. I hope there's a discounted price or a fair price on that, and maybe it comes with so many updates, and then after that, if you want to get some big updates that are really, tempting for you, that costs a little bit of money, then go ahead and get those updates. Because if you think about it, if you buy all the effects pedals that are associated with that update, you'd spend a hell of a lot more on those pedals than you would for the update that has all of those algorithms in it. So I don't know. I think it's a pretty good deal. Like I said, there's many ways you can look at this, but that's my 2 cents on it, and hopefully that helps people out. I'd like to see what your opinion is on the whole thing. Feel free to comment in the comment section, and just be cool about it. If you disagree with me, that's fine, but just don't be a douche. All right, so on to the next topic. So what makes a piece of gear a game changer? I mean, we've seen the thumbnails and all the titles of videos over the last few years, especially with the hyperbolic title in it, game changer, it's like somebody just reinvented the wheel, or somebody, I don't know, just created a product that has just never been created before, and this thing's amazing, and blah, blah, blah. And I totally get why some products can be called a game changer, but I also understand why people are frustrated with seeing the whole game changer title in thumbnails on a lot of YouTube videos, because I think it's an overused title. I really do. I just, that whole phrase just drives me nuts when I see it now on YouTube. And honestly, I've seen a lot of comments regarding that as well. I've seen a lot of comments on Facebook and on YouTube, or in the comment section of people's videos, going, anytime I see game changer in the title now, I'm out. I don't even want to watch the video, because it just seems really shilly, and it seems like people are just trying to cram something down my throat, and it's just so over the top for the product associated with that title. And I just realized I was looking at the wrong camera for that whole segment there, but I'm not going to redo it, so I guess we'll just have to deal with that. So anyways, I really do get your guys' frustration with that. I really do, and I feel your pain as well, and it does drive me nuts also when I see that in a title anymore, because I'm always like, oh great, another game changer. Yeah, this thing's gonna change the freaking world. It's never been done before, blah, blah, blah. And it just kind of makes my stomach churn when I see it. So for what it's worth, I'm going to give you my opinion on what makes something a game changer and that's worthy of that title. Number one, it has to be something that's unique, something that is never been done before, at least never been done before in the way it's been done, if that makes sense. It could be a take on something else, but just a much better take on something else. And it also has to be a new trendsetter, or something that revolutionizes that part of the gear world, So to me, those are the two things that at least have to be, involved in it being a game changer. I mean, when companies make like a smaller version of the same product, I really wouldn't call that a game changer. It's just a smaller version of the same product that is a little bit cheaper and has a little less features. Now, there's exceptions to what I'm saying here. And we'll get to that in a minute. But for the most part, I wouldn't call that a game changer. But it's funny when people put that in the title and their thumbnails, and it just drives me nuts sometimes, because it's just too over the top. Now, I know you guys will probably have your examples of what you've seen out there, and feel free to put those in the comment section. I'm looking forward to reading those. And we can all have a laugh about that together, But I think it takes more than just making something smaller to make it a game changer. And again, there's exceptions, but for the most part, that's generally what I think regarding that. Now, I can go on and on about this topic, but I'm not gonna. I'll leave that to you guys in the comment section. But real quick, I want to give you guys some examples of what I think have been game changers in the gear world today. Number one, the Kemper. There was nothing like it when it came out. Nothing out there profiled amplifiers like the Kemper did. You couldn't profile your entire rig, whether it's just the amp or the amp cab and mics and, the overdrive pedal in the chain or whatever. You couldn't do that before the Kemper came out. So when that thing came out, it was an absolute game changer. And I'm so grateful for that product, because they kind of created a whole new path to creating guitar tones, and blazed a new trail for everybody. And now that the tech is available to other companies, they can have their own version of that. And now that we got all these great products out there that do it. We have the NAMM, the open source stuff from NAMM. We have Quad Cortex. I guess Headrush does it. I think More does it as well. And I'm probably forgetting some products, but oh, TONEX, of course. How could I forget TONEX? So there's other products that are doing it now, and I think it's awesome. So I think that Kemper was an absolute game changer when it came out, and I think they deserve that title for sure. And another product that I think is worthy of that title is the Legendary Tones Mr. Scary mod. I've done some videos with this, and I'm going to continue doing videos with it, but this thing is amazing. You don't have to send your amp out to somebody in another state and pay shipping there and back on it and wait weeks and weeks and weeks for the mods to be done. This is a mod you can do yourself in probably less than a half an hour, you know, and this thing makes all of your amps sound freaking amazing as long as it works with them. The nice thing is too is you can actually try this in an amp, and if it doesn't work, it's not going to hurt anything. But for the most part, as long as an amp has a cathode follower, most of the time it's going to work with that amp. They have a standard wiring and a reverse wiring unit. So look at their website and see which one works best for you. But I've used it in my JEL, I've used it in my Badlander, I used it in a Marshall, and it just made massive improvements in all of those amps. In fact, I was going to sell my Badlander until I put my Mr. Scary mod in it, and now that thing's a fire-breathing beast that's going to be pretty much welded to my shelves now. I love it now. So this thing is an absolute game changer because once again, you can do it yourself. It's very affordable and it's extremely effective, and I highly recommend this. And there's nothing else out there like it. So total game changer. Now, another game changer regarding analog stuff or amplifiers, in my opinion, is the rev generator. I think that these amps they're kitchen sink amps. I mean, there's pretty much nothing it can't do. It's an amazing 4-channel amp, 120 watts, and it also has the 2-notes tech built into it and a load box. So you can literally just take this head to a gig and leave your cab at home and have stereo outs on it, so you can plug into the house, front of house in stereo, and have any kind of third-party IRs, your own IRs that you make, or all the 2-note cab emulations in it, whatever you want in stereo. And it's got effects, EQs, all the stuff that the 2-note stuff has inside the amplifier. And in my opinion, that is a groundbreaking amplifier. And yes, it is absolutely a game changer as far as I'm concerned regarding amplifiers. If you haven't tried one of these, I highly recommend that you do, because these amps are amazing. It's definitely one of my favorite top 5 amps ever. And I freaking love this amp, and I'll play it a little later in the video for you as well. So yeah, this thing's freaking awesome, man. So total game changer of an amp. When it came out with all that stuff, there wasn't really anything out like that, and I still think to this day there's not a lot out like it, but they blazed a new trail for a lot of other people to follow by putting different IR outs and DI outs on their amps. And I know that was out before this, but this is the one amp that has the 2-note stuff built into it. And as far as I know, I could be wrong, it's the only one that does that. And I think they did a great job with it. So yes, total game changer of an amplifier. Okay, another product that I would consider to be a game changer, especially now after it's been updated completely with all the promises that they gave us when it first came out, is the Quad Cortex. Because at the time when it came out, there wasn't any other product that did modeling, plugins, and capturing all in one unit. So I think that in that sense, the Quad Cortex was definitely a game changer. I really do. I think it's a great unit now that it's been updated to fulfill all those promises. Like I said earlier, it definitely is a game changer product. It's an amazing product, and I love my QC, and I use it a lot. I sell a ton of captures on my website, and they turn out amazing, and people really do like them a lot. So I would consider that a game changer as well. Now, regarding the Nano, I've seen some people call that a game changer. I'm kind of on the fence with that, because in some ways it kind of is, because there's not a product out there that size that does what it does. I mean, Kemper Player doesn't do, profiling. It's just a player. You can put profiles in it and use it as a player. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying, as far as the whole smaller size units goes, the Nano at least does capturing. So that's actually really cool. So in a way, I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe it is kind of a game changer. But in other ways, I'm like, well, maybe it's not, because it's just a smaller unit of, the mothership, which is the Quad Cortex. So I don't know. And here's the thing. You got to give up a few things to get the Nano. I mean, you don't get the plugins, you don't get the modeling, and there's some things missing in the signal chain and stuff like that. Not saying it's a bad product. I'm just saying that in my opinion, in order to call that a game changer for real, if it still had all the things that the Quad Cortex had, but in a smaller size, that would definitely qualify it as a bona fide game changer for me. But I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that would have been a no-brainer, label for it then. But I will be getting one soon, and I'll be doing some shootouts with it and some demos with it as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I think there's a lot of great things about that product, and I think that they're going to solve that problem with not having an overdrive in the signal chain before the amp. I think that'll come in an update. They're a smart company. I have faith in them. I think they're going to make that happen. But I'll do some experiments with it anyways, with some boosted captures, and see how they sound. So stay tuned to the channel for that. Anyways, to sum up this whole topic, game changer is probably in the eye of the beholder. I mean, if it's a game changer product for you, I guess it really is a game changer. But I just hope that people making videos about products will probably try to tone that down a little bit, because I do think the term has been used way too often, and it's almost soiled the term. Anytime people see it now, they just roll their eyes and they're like, well, I'm not going to watch this video. It just seems shilly and too over the top. And I think it's almost lost its value to the point where it almost devalues a video when you call something a game changer now. I really do, because it just makes people just roll their eyes. And the problem is, when an actual game-changing product really does come out, we can't really label it that, because it's just going to steer people away from the video and sour the video anyway. So it just sucks that that term has lost all of its value and it's become like this pariah term on YouTube. And hopefully we can fix that by not using it so much, and maybe let it get its value back over time. Anyways, that's my spiel on that. I'm sure I left out a bunch of game changer type products, so feel free to list those in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments. Okay, so I promised I'd play the rev for you guys. So I'm on the purple channel right now. I'm using one of my impulse responses that I made that's also available for you guys. It's in the link below. Just go to my website and get the, I think it's called the Ultimate IR Pack or something like that. But I'm going to go ahead and play a couple riffs and maybe a mix for you with that. And I think this is a freaking incredible amplifier. So let's go ahead and see how it sounds with some riffs and possibly a mix here. after several takes, that's as good as I'm going to get that song today. But anyways, yeah, the freaking Rev is amazing. It's an awesome amplifier. And in fact, I have something special in store for you guys this coming week here. So stay tuned to the channel for that. I can't reveal too much right now, but just wait, man. I got something really special coming in the mail very soon. And I think it'll be here on Wednesday. And I can't wait to freaking do that video. Oh, and one more thing before we move on from the whole game changer topic. A very, very good honorable mention I want to give out is to the DIMEHEAD NAMM player. I think that thing is freaking amazing. In fact, I've had some real cork sniffer friends come over recently that aren't big fans of modeling and stuff like that, but they played through this and they were like completely blown away at how good it sounded and how good it felt. And I think that speaks volumes for it. And I'm, you know, I guess I'm not going to call myself a cork sniffer, but I've played through just about everything. And it's one of the best sounding and one of the best feeling players I've ever played through. You know, the captures come out freaking amazing and the sound and feel is amazing on them. So I really think it's a great product. And I like the fact that I can put in a full capture of a full rig, including cab, mics, amp, everything. Or I can use just a capture of an amp, put it in there, put one of my IRs in with it, and have chorus, reverb, and delay at my disposal. And I could put in a capture of an overdrive pedal to boost the amp capture with, and I can have all the things that I want. So as far as I'm concerned, like I said earlier, you know, the whole game changer thing is in the eye of the beholder, just like beauty is. And I really think that the NAMM player by DIMEHEAD is a game changer for me anyways, because it offers those options. It's very inexpensive. It's small. It's just, you know, it's about the same size as all the other small gear out there, you know. So I'm looking at it right now. It's about the size of 2 stomp boxes. And I think it sounds incredible. In fact, I'll play some riffs for you on it right now. This is my capture of my Splon Nitro, pushed through my IR, and I captured my Oddbox pedal and put that in the chain as well. And I just think it sounds amazing. So let's go ahead and hear a couple riffs with that right now, and then we'll move on to viewer comments. Yeah, that thing sounds freaking amazing. I'm still getting to know it and getting to know all the software and everything, but I'll be doing some more captures with it very soon. But man, this is one of the best digital platforms out there. And I'll get to more on this a little later in the video. I'm going to read a comment about it that I thought was kind of hilarious. But yeah, it's a great unit. It really is. And it's affordable. And I love the effects in it. And it's very easy to dial in everything and easy to operate, you know. So you know, stay tuned to the channel for more content with that, and I'm going to be releasing some packs for that as well, because I think they come out so freaking accurate and so good. So I can't wait to do that. But you know, like I said, it's got all the effects that I need for now, you know, and I'm hoping that they'll be doing some more updates, which I think that they will be. And you know, I mean, the delays you heard in there, that's all in the player, you know. So I think they did a good job on those, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes in the future regarding this product. All right, so let's get on with the viewer comments. This is from Bullshot, and this is on my Headrush Prime First Impressions video, and I think I was reviewing the amp models and stuff. And he says, maybe you're not aware, but there's a thing called settings that you can change and tweak and dial in, and other choices of effects if you don't like the sound of things. Maybe they should ask you how you want the presets to sound in the future before they roll their presets out, I guess. You know, it's funny, people are still butthurt about my my review of that product when it first came out. It's so funny how people tune into channels like mine and others because they want confirmation bias. They want us to say, hey, glad you're here, thanks for watching my video, you made the right choice, you bought the right thing, it's the best, it's the most awesomest, goodest, bestest thing ever made, and it's a game changer. So congratulations, you're so smart. And you know, that's what people tune in for. And look, I'm here to give you my honest opinion about products. If I really don't like something, or if there's things I do like about it and there's things I don't like about it, I'm going to tell you those things. Why? Well, number one, it's because you're watching to get, hopefully, information before you make a decision, so that you can make the right choice that best suits your needs and your tastes and stuff like that. And obviously you're going to take all of our opinions with a grain of salt, because we all like and dislike different things. But don't buy something and then tune in afterwards and hope someone likes it. I mean, that's not how you do it. You know, you know, it's almost like taking a test and not checking your answers and then getting a D- and then going like mad at the teacher because the teacher gave you a bad grade. It's like, why didn't you check your math before you turned it in? You know, so do your research before you buy stuff. And if you're going to watch for confirmation bias, I think most of the time you're going to be disappointed. And don't blame the reviewer. Don't blame me or other YouTubers because we don't like the product that you spent all your money on before you did the research. You know, and it's funny how people they get upset with me and try to talk down to me and get condescending. Well, hey, there's these things called settings. No shit, buddy. I understand that. But if something sounds like shit, it sounds like shit. There's no settings that will fix it. You know, I mean, if I serve you a lump of shit, you can season it with whatever you want, but you're still eating shit. Okay? And it probably will still taste like shit no matter what, too. You can put a pound of sugar on it, and now you're going to have diabetes and a stomach ache. So I don't know what to tell you, man. You know, it's just funny how people get so angry when I don't like something. Like, you know, I'm not the only opinion that matters around here, but, you know, the thing is if you like it, then who cares what I think? Okay, this next comment is from Dead Man Rider 2010, and he said, the DIMEHEAD is so ugly, I will never spend $600 for that design. That was that comment I was referring to earlier. Look, I think, here's a picture of the DIMEHEAD here. I think the DIMEHEAD player is great, just the way it is. I mean, I guess like I said earlier, I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I mean, it doesn't have a fancy touch screen with a bunch of blinky lights and colors and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, honestly, who gives a shit? You know, it's very easy to use. It's very functional. At least has a screen. There's products that came out earlier, you know, just this week. I mean, the Nano came out and people are bitching, oh, there's no screen. Well, the DIMEHEAD has a screen. It might not be the prettiest thing in the world, but at least you can operate things on the screen. You don't need an app for it. You could do everything with pretty much one knob. You just turn to what you want, push the knob in, make the adjustment, push it again, and you're out onto the next thing. And then you have the tone stack, as you can see here, on the unit itself, and you can dial that stuff in very easily. So it's a very functional, very easy to use product. And, you know, the thing is, too, to keep in mind, you know, no one has ever had this type of conversation. Hey, how was the concert last night? Oh, well, it was pretty good, but, you know, the guy was playing an ugly, you know, piece of gear, so I wish that his gear looked prettier, because then I think the concert would have been better. Said no one ever. I mean, who gives a shit what it looks like? I mean, it's a fine-looking product, you know, and I think, I'm looking at it right now, it's right in front of me, I think it looks fine, you know, and what really matters is, how does it sound? What kind of features does it have? And do those features work for you? Well, then buy it. You know, it's not supposed to be the prettiest piece of gear out there. And again, it's affordable. So with affordability comes some other things. You're not going to get the prettiest aesthetics, but when you compare this product to other products out there, I think it offers a ton of great features and functionality for you, and some of the best captures that you can ever get. I mean, these captures are, in my opinion, they're the best I've ever played. And when you can get something like that for that kind of price and have the effects and all the other stuff that this thing has, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. It really is. So who gives a shit that it's not the prettiest thing out there? But again, I don't think there's anything wrong with the way it looks. All right, this next one is on my video I did actually about the NAM player, saying that this would be a good option if you weren't happy with the release of the Nano Cortex. And this is from Guitar Tone SA. He says, just get the Kemper Player. Once again, Christoph Kemper outsmarts the opposition. I mean, hey, if the Kemper Player is what you're looking for and it has the features that you want, well, then get one of those. You know, I mean, all these smaller budget, I guess, kind of units are going to have their pluses and minuses. And for some people, they're going to have deal breakers. Well, lucky for us, we have a variety of things to choose from. So if one unit has things about it that are complete deal breakers for you, well, then there's several other units to choose from, and I bet you one of those will suit your taste. So, you know, that's what's so nice about being in the golden age of gear. There's way too many options for us to choose from, and I think a lot of us are spoiled. So it comes with the territory, I guess. But it's a great time to be a guitar player, man. There's just a lot of great stuff to choose from. So, yeah, I mean, if the NAM player doesn't work for you and the Nano doesn't work for you, then get the Kemper Player. And you can make that, you know, effect for all three of them. If one of those don't work for you, I'm sure the other two would have a good possibility of doing that. I think all three of those are great units, and they all offer a lot of great things. And depending on your taste and what you're looking for, one of them will definitely fit the bill for you. Okay, this next comment is on my Splon Nitro most underrated amp I did a couple weeks ago, and this is from, got to zoom in here, Matuz Trojak, I think that's how to pronounce it. He said, just recently did a metal patch with one on the Fractal FM3, and it is my favorite for now. Amazing saturation, punch, and clarity. Would love to have a real amp. Great sound and playing. Thanks. Now I like Splon even more. Well, thanks for commenting. I'm glad that you like the amp model that they put in the Fractal unit of the Splon Nitro. I think it's a great amp. I mean, this thing is freaking awesome. It's one of the most underrated amps out there. And it's just what he said. Great punch and clarity. Yeah, that's just a killer freaking amp. And that's actually the capture that I played in the DIMEHEAD earlier. I just think it's one of the best amps out there, you know. So if you want a nice American-made amplifier that's affordable and it's you know, you can get some custom stuff on it, give Scott Splon a call and order one. I just think it's an amazing amplifier. All right, here's another comment. This is on my Is Your Gear Holding You Back video, and this is from Riff Shredder, and he says, just got a boost about a week ago. Holy shit, have I been missing out. I've got your back, bro. I love your videos, and it's fun to watch you play. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And isn't it amazing when you get the right boost pedal and you hook it up to your amp and you're just like, oh my God, the feel and the response and the freaking ridiculous amount of aggression I'm getting out of my amp is just amazing. I mean, it's like, you know, giving your amp a shot of steroids. It's amazing. So, yeah, I totally get that. So if you're watching right now and you haven't tried a boost pedal yet, don't listen to all the boost Karens. Go get a boost pedal, hook it up to your amp, turn the, you know, the output all the way up, gain all the way down, tone in the middle, and adjust your gain accordingly on your amp, and you're going to freaking love the way your amp sounds and feels. Give it a try, man. Don't listen to them freaking idiots. Okay, this last comment is from Serge Karinsky728. I think I pronounced that right. Sorry if I didn't. He said, hey man, thanks for the video. I know that some time ago you had the Boogie Mark V 25 and you really liked it. How does the Fireball 25 feel in comparison to the Mark V 25? Does it feel just as big and full? I used to have the Boogie and I loved it, but I had to sell it, considering the Fireball now. Well, I'm glad you liked the video, and I did have the Mark V 25 for a while. I think it's a great amp, but I have the JP, and it's like, when you got a JP in the same kind of family of tones, you might as well just stick with that and sell the Mark V. And I just think the JP is better. It's not as congested, it's more open sounding, and you know, bigger. You know, it's freaking, you know, a lot more watts. So I just love the JP. It's one of my favorite amps. But that being said, if you're looking at the Fireball 25 and you're wondering how good it sounds, man, this amp sounds amazing. It sounds bigger and better than you would expect it to. I mean, a lot of times 25 watt amps, you know, they sound okay, but they're either congested or they sound kind of small or thin or whatever. But this amp sounds huge. It's an amazing amp. In fact, it's one of the best sounding 25 watt amps out there. I played a lot of them, and this thing sounds absolutely amazing. So I highly recommend it. In fact, let me do a couple riffs on it for you now, and you can get a feel for what it sounds like. And I'll do a quick mix for you as well. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit here. I really appreciate it. And if you want one of your questions or comments to be in the next Riffs and Responses video, please leave your question or comment below, and I'll be happy to respond to that in the next Riffs and Responses video. Well, to everyone who's been purchasing my Quad Cortex, Kemper, and TONEX packs, I really appreciate you guys very much. Seriously, that really helps keep the channel going and keep the lights on here. I really appreciate you guys, and I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying the preset packs. It just means the world to me to know that people are enjoying the tones that I'm creating for them, so I really appreciate that very much. And I always look forward to reading your comments and your emails regarding how much you like the presets and profiles. Thanks to all my Patreon supporters and subscribers. I really appreciate you guys as well. And if you're new to the channel and you like what I do here, feel free to subscribe and click the bell so that you're notified every time I either go live or come out with another episode. I got a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.